What's up, Magic fans? We are talking about 5 storylines to watch for the Orlando Magic this season. This is a brand new YouTube channel for all Magic fans called The Magic Bro. My name is Jack. I am a diehard, lifelong Orlando Magic fan. I get the name Magic Bro because I do a podcast with my two brothers, JT and Joey, called the Jag Bros on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Grew up in Jacksonville, love the Jags, and love the Magic. And man, oh man, this is a great time to be a Magic fan. This is the season with the highest expectations we've had in a long time. And I'm fired up. The season is right around the corner. So as a new channel, would you help me out a ton? YouTube loves likes and comments. So would you take just 10 seconds? Hit that like button, drop a comment. It can honestly be anything. Just say, hey, let's go Magic. I'll respond to you. But YouTube loves those likes and comments. Help us out in the algorithm. Let's reach more Magic fans and let's get fired up for the season. So also hit subscribe because I'm going to be trying to come back before the season starts with my predictions for the Orlando Magic 2025-2026 season. Again, it's going to be a big one. These are 5 storylines that I think you as a Magic fan need to watch for the year. Number 1, you've got to start it with number 5 on the court, Paolo Banchero. This is the MVP potential for Paolo. It's real. It's legit. I'm not saying he's going to win it, but he's got the opportunity. Look, it's crazy. He's only 22 years old. In each of his 3 seasons, he's improved. He improved his scoring, improved his defense. He's gone from 20 points to 22.6 to 25.9 last year. Remember, he gets injured after 5 games, and in those first 5 games, he drops a 50-pointer. He finally gets healthy, and he gets rolling, gets that momentum going into the playoffs. We see playoff Paolo against the Boston Celtics. He puts up 29.5 points, 8.4 boards, 4.2 assists in that playoff series where the Celtics were completely swarming, double teaming, triple teaming Paolo. Well, guess what? Teams can't do that anymore. The Magic have traded for Desmond, Bane, who is a legit scorer, a big-time shooter in that 2 position. Franz is hopefully going to be back fully healthy. He's going to be that 1-2 punch. Suggs should be back soon. Wendell Carter, we're going to talk about him in a minute as well. Like, you can't just double and triple team Paolo all the time. So if Paolo just continues on this upward trend, you're talking about, if he just stays at that pace, 28 points per game, 8 boards, 5 assists. I think that assist number can creep up as well. I think he can push closer to 30 points as well. Look, again, I'm not saying he's going to win the MVP, but I really do believe if he stays healthy this year, Paolo's going to be in that MVP discussion. You're going to be able to see on NBA.com that MVP ladder every week, that you're going to see Paolo's name every week in that top 10. I think he's going to finish somewhere around the top 5, which means, hey, you've got a shot at winning the MVP, which is amazing, especially as a Magic fan. Well, already mentioned him, but storyline number 2 was the biggest move in many ways, obviously of the Orlando Magic offseason, but in some ways the entire NBA offseason. That was the Magic trading for Desmond Bane, shooting guard from the Memphis Grizzlies. And here's the storyline: a perfect fit, but also a ton of pressure. And that high pressure comes because Jeff Weltman went all in to get Desmond Bane. The Orlando Magic traded 4 first-round picks, a pick swap as well. Those are all future first-round picks and a pick swap. So, again, NBA is a little bit different because the Magic are banging on, hey, we're going to be a late first-round pick, so it's not as much. You can't really define this in NFL terms, but still, 4 first-round picks, a pick swap. It was a high price. The Magic go all in. We've been waiting on Weltman to make a big move for year after year after year. Well, he finally does it. He goes and gets Desmond Bane. And why it's a perfect fit is because all Magic fans would know we've been a terrible shooting team for way too long. In fact, you look at last year's numbers, we were dead last in 3 points made, dead last in 3-point percentage, and 23rd in 3-point attempts. The NBA has evolved. You look at every shot chart for any NBA game, it's like all 3-point shots and all right around the basket. That's where people shoot. It's where people live. And also, of course, at the free throw line as well, which Bane is going to help. We saw that in the preseason. He is not just a shooter. He's a slasher. He can get to the rim. but the shooting is going to be the perfect fit. He has put up over 20 points the last 2 seasons, 21.5 and then 23.7. Took a small dip at 19.2, but that was because more was asked from him in terms of rebounding and assists the last 2 seasons. He's had over 5 assists. I don't think we'll see that number be as high, but I think that number is going to be somewhere in that 18 to 20 point range. And the key is going to be all these 3-point numbers. He's shooting 43, 43, 40, 38, 39. All would be ridiculous improvements for the Orlando Magic if he shoots anywhere close to that. The volume is huge too. He's had seasons where he's shot 7, 8.5, 6. I think it's going to be somewhere in that 6 to 8 range again. I mean, probably closer to 8, just given the nature of how poor of a shooting team the Magic have been. In fact, we haven't been outside of the bottom 10 of 3-point stats since 2018 to 2019. So Desmond, Bane, welcome to Orlando. We have been begging for someone to hit wide open shots. And Paolo's going to be able to drive and dish. Franz is going to be able to do the same. Suggs as well. And again, Bane being on the floor spaces the court so much more for the Magic, which should help our other players see a slight uptick in shooting percentage. We also have some new great offensive and shooting assistant coaches as well. But that leads me into our third storyline for Orlando Magic fans, and that's going to be faster pace. It is clear in the offseason, this is what Coach Mosley has been hammering at, because the Magic also were last place in pace of play last year. Well, Mosley said that's not going to happen again this year. We're going to run. We're going to move fast. They got Bane. He comes from Memphis. We also got Tyus Jones in free agency, another guy from the Grizzlies. And this is what's crazy. Tyus Jones, one, we get a legit true point guard for that second unit. He is a guy with one of the highest assist to turnover ratios in the NBA. But number two, the crazy thing is he's 29 years old, and he will be the oldest player on the Magic roster. This is a young team, which we'll talk about more in a second, which all that to say, there's no excuse for not being a running fast team. We're not running out there with a bunch of 35, 36, 37, 38-year-old guys. Like, you should be running the court a lot. And so I don't think we're going to be like a top 10 team in terms of pace of play, but hopefully right in that middle range. And again, it's just a preseason. Preseason NBA does not mean a whole lot, but maybe a little bit. And it's been really nice to see, number one, the Magic go 4-0, but two, the offense looks so much better in the preseason. We'll see what it looks like in legit season games, but the Magic are 4-0. And listen to these numbers. They put up 126, 128, 120, 132, all 4 games of the preseason over 120. I don't expect us to be over 120 that often in the regular season, but to know, hey, we at least have that potential. The Magic are going to run more. I don't think we'll be dead last. I think we'll be somewhere in that 14, 15, 16 range in terms of pace of play. The number 4 storyline to watch for us Magic fans is going to be the development of the young guys. We have 4 guys that are going to be in that second to third unit that are going to be very, very, very important in terms of development. These guys are in their first, second, and third years in the NBA, all drafted by the Magic in the first round. So you can start with Jace Richardson, our first-round rookie from this past year. You also have Tristan Da Silva, a first-round pick from the year before that, saw a decent amount of playing time. And then 2 years before that, you have 2 lottery picks, both in their third season now, Anthony Black and Jet Howard. The 4 of these guys, you really need to see at least 2 of them have a big impact for the Magic bench, but ideally 3. And all 4 of them need to take that next step, even if it's just a baby step, but ideally a big step in terms of player development. The Magic have invested a ton in bringing in some new coaches, and part of that, of course, is going to be development. So if you're looking at these 4 guys, starting with Anthony Black, he's going to be the guy that is going to have the biggest role. He's got the highest potential. He's the number 6 overall pick. He's still only 21 years old. He's a supersized guard. We all know Weltman loves that long wingspan. He can play shutdown defense, but the key is going to be, can the offensive production continue to improve? Can we see that 3-point percentage get more towards the middle 30%, that field goal percentage get closer to 45%? Can he get to the line more? Can he work well with Tyus Jones and be a 1-2 punch in terms of the second unit, and can he keep that elite defense going? Jace Richardson is going to be the rookie to watch. He had a great preseason. I loved him out of Michigan State. I thought this was a great draft pick. He's a little bit undersized, but Magic fans will know him as the son of Jason Richardson. If you grew up as a Magic fan as well, and he brings shooting potential. And hey, another guy that brings shooting potential, Jet Howard. He is a shooter, and the Magic desperately needed shooting. Again, in his third year, we haven't seen a ton, but a slight uptick. A guy, yet again, had a very nice preseason. Can he turn that into points and production in the regular season? Because let's be real, too. The Magic often have a lot of injuries. So you're going to need a guy like Jet Howard, and you may need a guy like Jace Richardson to come in for a 10 to 12, 15 game stretch and be a reliable shooter and scorer for you. But I think the most well-rounded outside of Anthony Black is Tristan da Silva. He had a nice rookie season. Look, he had 38 starts as a rookie. He's older. He's 24 years old. He was this guy that was a little bit more plug and play. Part of the reason the Magic drafted him in the first round last year. Not a flashy guy, but it doesn't make a ton of mistakes and just has a good high floor. A little bit not quite as high as the ceiling. These other three guys, certainly AB and Jet Howard, have the highest ceilings, which is why they were drafted the highest. But watch these four guys. Throw in Noah Pinda. I like that draft pick as well. Of course, he's going to be closer to that 14th, 15th man. Probably going to see more time with the Osceola Magic in the G League. So tune into that. But long-term should be a good player for the Magic as well. My fifth and final storyline is number 5 in terms of a player on the court, and that's our center. And the storyline is the rise or the fall of Wendell Carter Jr. If you look at the Magic starting lineup, once Jalen Suggs is back, which is hopefully very, very soon, the clear weakness is the center position, or at least on paper, the clear weaknesses. But hey, Wendell Carter Jr. finally had a healthy offseason. Wendell Carter Jr., to be honest, other than Paolo and Franz, he looked the best out of anyone in an Orlando Magic uniform in the preseason. He looked dominant. He had 3 blocks in that first game against the Miami Heat in Puerto Rico in that preseason game. He put up some points. He had some good shooting, some really good post play, some good alley-oops as well. And he's going to be such a key because defenses are going to leave him open. Defenses are going to focus on that big four of Suggs, Bane, Wagner, and Banchero. And so they're going to leave Carter open. They're going to give him opportunities. And so he's got to be able to knock down that open shot. And then the two big things he's got to be the rim protector for the Magic's defense. And then number 2, he's got to be a good rebounder. We saw great seasons in that 2021 and then into the 2022-23 season. 15 points, 10.5 boards, almost 9 boards. I don't think he's got to be at that 15-point range, but he's got to be a lot better than this number, 23% from 3. It's got to be over 50% from a field goal percentage. Both those need to see a big increase. He's got to stay healthy for the Orlando Magic. That feels like everyone for the Magic. You got to stay healthy this year. And if you're right around that 12-point range, I think 9 boards, 10 would be ideal. In a good defender, then the Magic feel fantastic about their starting lineup. But if he starts slow, being realistic, like he's going to be on the trade block, in my opinion. If not, you're certainly going to be, Weltman's going to be looking at upgrading that center position in some way. So this is a big year for him and a big year for the Magic. Weltman's all in, so you can't have another poor year where he's only getting 9 points and 7 boards. That's just not going to cut it from the starting center position. So either going to see a rise, going to see an increase, or a fall in the Magic move on from Wendell Carter. Here's my bonus storyline, and I didn't include this because All NBA is talking about this, but it's important to mention the East is wide open. Most power rankings have the Orlando Magic somewhere in that 2 to 3 at lowest 4 spot in the East in terms of projections. But even that 1 seed is not far off. There's no one who has a clear dominant team. There's a ton of injuries in terms of stars and superstars in the East. The East is truly wide open for the Orlando Magic. So it's a great time to jump on the Magic bandwagon. It's a great time to hit subscribe. Again, please help me out. Hit that like, drop a comment. I'll respond to each and every one of you. Gonna try to get the regular season projections out, or sorry, predictions out for our next video. So again, hit subscribe, be on the lookout for that, and then get ready for Wednesday night opening tip against the Miami Heat. Always fun to start with a rivalry game, but it's going to be a great season, and let's go Magic.